Good morning, everyone. My name is Beth Duda, and I want to thank you for joining the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Readings 2020 Charlotte County Community Update Meeting. My name is Beth Duda. I'm the director of the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading, working with the Patterson Foundation. Just a reminder, we would love for you to say good morning in the chat box. And if you have questions during our presentation, please go ahead and put those questions in the Q&A box. At the end of our hour, I believe that Angie, myself, and Justin will have an opportunity to answer some of your questions. If we're unable to answer those questions in real time, we will make sure that we follow up with you after the presentation. So traditionally, our community update meeting has been a community update breakfast at Michael's on East. And we've, for several years, had 300 strong and a very large breakfast buffet. But in order for all of us to stay safe, we're very grateful that you were willing to participate in this meeting virtually this year. I'm hoping that the lack of all-you-can-eat bacon has been made up for with much less of a commute for our friends from Charlotte County and the opportunity for many more of you to be with us this morning. For those of you who are new to the movement, the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading is a 4-county effort. We have Charlotte, DeSoto, Manatee, and Sarasota counties, and we've banded together to help all children, but especially those from asset-limited families, succeed in life by ensuring they read on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. The national campaign consists of more than 350 communities across the United States, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Canada. All of these communities working together, sharing knowledge to ensure the success of our children. As many of you know, children learn to read from birth to 3rd grade. And after 3rd grade, they are expected to be able to read to learn. And our children who have not met that important milestone fall further and further behind, making them up to 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. Now, our campaign, through the lens of parent and family engagement and health determinants, is focused on 3 key pillars. We look at school readiness, the 0 to 5 years. Too many children from our asset-limited families begin school already far behind. And research shows us that these children are less likely to be read or spoken to, or to have access to high quality books or literacy rich environments or high quality daycare or pre-kindergarten programs. And we know that those kind of interactions are critical for language development, an important precursor to literacy. We also focus on chronic absence in grades K through 3. Now, chronic absence is defined as missing 10% or more of the school year. And research shows us that 1 in 10 kindergartners and 1st graders miss nearly a month of school. Most of our children cannot afford to have that kind of absence, especially in those lower grades, because that's when reading instruction is a central part of the curriculum. And then we also look at preventing summer learning loss. The average child who grows up in a low income or asset limited family can lose as much as 3 months of reading skills over the summer. That means by the end of 5th grade, they are nearly 3 grade levels behind their peers. Now, the Suncoast Campaign takes a regional approach to this work. The Patterson Foundation is the regional accelerator with a lead partner in each of our 4 communities. Our lead partners focus on county-specific work, while the Patterson Foundation looks at work that can happen in all 4 counties at once, an umbrella approach. Our work is augmented and really driven by the engagement of 5 sectors. We look at engaging individuals, businesses, not-for-profits, government, which includes our libraries and school systems, and the media, in order to build and strengthen what we consider a regional movement. So that gives you the basics about the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading. Those of you who know me well know that I could talk for an hour on what we've covered in just a few minutes. But now we want to find out more about you. So our webinar today, our administrator is Abby Rowland. She is a fellow with the Patterson Foundation, and she's going to put up some poll questions, and we would love for you to answer them. So the first question, Abby, you can go ahead and put that up. We'd like to know what your role is in the community. And with this question, you can pick more than one answer, because I know many of you serve many different roles. So are you a parent? Are you an educator, a business owner, grandparent, caregiver? Do you work with a not-for-profit? Are you just an interested citizen or a champion of children? I'll be very interested to see what the results are. I know as they're coming in, when we get to about 90% of the people having responded, Abby will share the results with us. And the category with the most answers you will see in red. So if you have not selected all of your choices, go ahead and do that. I'm looking, I think I could probably click 5 or 6, maybe 7 boxes myself. So we're looking forward to Abby. Go ahead and put up the results when you can. Look at this, very nice. So our number one answer is not-for-profit partner. And I was actually commenting to Justin and Angie before we began today that there's something very special about the community spirit in Charlotte County and all of the different organizations that have come together to work for the Campaign for Grade Level Reading. And I think this poll result shows that. So 64% of the people on our webinar today identify as a not-for-profit partner. But look at that, 53% of you consider yourself a champion of children. And hopefully by the end of the webinar, we'll have that be 100%. We can go to the next question now, Abby. This one is a little bit more fun. We're looking at which of these children's book characters do you most strongly identify with? We have Curious George, Harry Potter, Winnie the Pooh, Pippi Longstocking, Charlotte A. Cavatica. Those of you who are big Charlotte's Web fans will recognize that name as the name of the spider, Charlotte, and Ramona the Pest. So go ahead and mark which one you identify with. Every time I see the name Winnie the Pooh, I think of some of the Winnie the Pooh quotes that have become part of our culture and our society. I think that there are many words of wisdom that Pooh shares with us. And Abby, as soon as you have the results, go ahead and share those with us.
Okay, we'll go ahead and end now.
Look at that, very nice. So we have Curious George at 26%, Winnie the Pooh at 26%, followed closely by Pippi Longstocking. We had a meeting yesterday with our friends in Manatee County, and their number one answer was Pippi Longstocking. I have to admit that I was a little surprised she's as popular as she is, but it's great to see. Very good. We have one more poll question for you. And this one has a little bit something to do with the hour that we asked you to be up this morning and ready to have a Zoom meeting. So how long have you been awake so far today? Pick your closest option, 3 hours or more, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, or you just rolled out of bed. I know that I would say 3 hours or more. I tend to like to give myself a little bit. Oh, I'm getting a thumbs up from Angie. The same is true for her.
Okay, got most. We'll go ahead and end that and share those results.
Okay, well, very good. So 86% of us have been up for 2 hours or more. So that's very good. We can talk fast, Justin and Angie. We got a lot of people who are already headed towards midday. Thank you for sharing those with us. So we want to talk a little bit about our Pace Setter honors. We're very excited. We found out just recently that the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading has received Pace Setter honors from the National Campaign for Grade Level Reading. Each year, the National Campaign for Grade Level Reading awards communities who are making measurable progress, and they award these honors that they call Pace Setter honors. And as you can see, we've received Pace Setter honors every year since the inception of the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading. We banded together in 2015. This year, we were awarded 6 Pace Setter honors in 5 categories. And to give you a little more information about that, I'm going to go ahead and share a video with you. So.
Every year since its inception in 2015, the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading has earned Pace Setter honors from the National Campaign for Grade Level Reading. This recognition has been based on the strength, innovation, and measurable results of efforts throughout the Suncoast to ensure the success of our children. The National Pace Setter honors for 2019 were recently awarded, and once again, the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading was recognized, this time with 6 honors in 5 categories. The Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading received the Big Tent Collaboration Pace Setter honor for communications. Families and partners stayed connected, energized, and informed through a frequently updated website, 2 monthly newsletters, hundreds of blog posts, active Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts, and a range of videos on YouTube. All of these communication tools help to build and maintain a thriving regional movement.
Because of the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading, our 4-county region, we were able to still connect with one another, still learn from one another, and then also be very nimble in how we served our community of parents and children and stakeholders.
For the Pace Setter category, Driving with Data, the Suncoast Campaign received an award for funding data management technicians.
Hi, my name is Carmel Cassidy, Director of Elementary Learning for Charlotte County Public Schools. I am here to recognize the Pace Setter Award that the campaign received for the psychometrician positions in 3 of our larger districts. That position has proven to be invaluable. Susan Moore, who is in that position and for Charlotte County Public Schools, pulls data anytime that we need it. And it has become a win-win not only for the campaign, but as well for the schools in our districts. Our principals are able to use that data. We're able to benefit by understanding which students in our district may need a little bit more intensive intervention in the area of reading instruction, and we're able to provide.
I've waited for things like this for over 25 years, and thank you for allowing this.
For philanthropic engagement and leadership, a Pace Setter honor for the Community Foundation of Sarasota County, attending to students' mental health needs.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Russell. As part of the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading, we are honored to be recognized as a Pace Setter for our work with mental health therapists in elementary schools. 1 out of 5 youth experience mental health issues, and we know that only half of those children actually get their needs met. We are so thrilled that this drove an innovative partnership between Sarasota County Schools and the Florida Center for Early Childhood. We have 23 schools that have mental health therapists on site, meeting the emotional, behavioral, and mental health needs of our children. Grade level reading, it's not just about literacy tools. It's about meeting the needs of the whole child, helping them reach their full potential. And this is a key component of doing that. So we thank our partners and we thank the community for recognizing this need and ultimately meeting the needs of our children. 93% of the students receiving these services are having a measurable impact. Thank you, National Campaign, for recognizing the work in this community, and to the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading and the Patterson Foundation for the collaborative approach in this region.
In the category of summer and after school, a pace setter honor to the Suncoast Summer Reading Challenge. Boys and Girls Clubs, parks and recreation sites, YMCAs, school districts, church groups, community centers, and businesses encouraged thousands of children to take on the challenge of reading more than 6 books over the summer months.
I read 56. This summer I read 81 books.
Each participating location held at least 2 events each week designed to inspire children to complete the challenge. And making this summer reading challenge even more successful was a very special person who made surprise appearances.
Introducing Miss Rita Story. Good morning.
We can tell that the students that come back after having been in this program and having read all summer long, we can see a huge difference.
Total books read, an astounding 198,570 books.
Reading is the key to succeeding. Excellent.
In the category of parent success, the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading received 2 honors. First, for increasing children's success by supporting parents' aspirations.
Hi, I'm Nicole Light, Education Officer for the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. We are the Sarasota lead for the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading. We are thrilled to receive a Pace Setter Award for our Parent Success Program. We believe that the secret sauce to our Parent Success Program is our Parent Education Navigator, Mary Tucker. She works one-on-one with every single parent that's gone through our Parent Success Program. This high human touch is what leads these parents from their aspirations to their actions. We asked all the parents that have gone through this program what was the impact on their children. And by and large, all of the parents said that they saw their children watching them be excited about learning something new and achieving their own success, which of course will lead to the children's success as well.
And also in the category of parent success, soaring above poverty and isolation.
It is amazing to be honored by the Campaign for Grade Level Reading as a pace setter. SOAR and 4 has been serving our families for over 4 years now, and because of COVID, we've had to transition to a drive-through.
Originally, our SOAR and 4 event takes place downtown. We've collaborated with the Central Library, the Art Center of Manatee, and the Bishop Museum. They are all fabulous partners, but unfortunately, we cannot have lots and lots of families in those places right now. We cause traffic jams downtown. So we have moved to the DeSoto Square Mall where we can easily accommodate 350 cars. We still have the same instructional resources and materials.
This is a bag with a whole bunch of school supplies in it.
Oh, how awesome!
We still partner with all the same agencies. We provide the same services. Our teachers are talking to the families as they drive by. They stop and get a little lesson.
This is a gopher tortoise, all right? And gopher tortoises are our diggers. They are amazing at digging. They can dig the length of a football field and the height of a full-grown man, so about 6 foot.
They're modeling how to use the materials and resources. They're talking about needs in case there are any needs that we can accommodate.
Information about COVID. This is for adults, and these are children masks, okay?
In COVID, this is the best we can do. We wear masks and we still do our work.
Hey, it's great. Great for the kids. Give them something to do when they can't do nothing right now.
This is amazing. I think it's such a good idea. This is amazing.
Thank you.
The Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading is proud to be one of just a handful of communities who have received Pace Setter honors out of the 350 communities across the United States. These honors are really an affirmation of all the hard work that's been going on in our 4-county region. We are so grateful for everything everyone has done so far,
but we still have a lot of work ahead of us. We still have many children who have not reached the success we know they deserve. So we're asking you to continue to support us and continue to support the children in our region who need our help.
So, as I mentioned in the video, we are very grateful for all of the support all of you have given, and we're looking forward to seeing what else we can do for the children and families in our region. We have another poll question for you now, and Abby, you can go ahead and put that one up. So, we would like you to mark which of these activities helps to build a baby's brain. And as you're doing that, I'm going to be getting ready to share our next thing with you. But I would like you to consider that this might be a little bit of a trick question. So make sure you read all of the choices before you make your final selection. And Abby, as those results are coming in, you can go ahead and post what the final results are. There you go. So we were unable to fool 83% of you. All of those things listed actually help build a baby's brain architecture. And we can go to the next slide, Abby. So as you saw in the Pace Setter video, 2019, the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading had a robust summer reading program. We called it the Suncoast Summer Reading Challenge. And up to March of 2020, plans were in place to grow that program even more. And then the pandemic hit. And we were faced with many questions. How were we going to be able to keep our work family and child centered? How would we be able to support summer camps? If you remember, in March and April, we weren't even certain that summer camps were going to be able to convene. How could we support the families that we knew were struggling? We wanted to make sure that we would be able to get high quality reading material into the hands of children. We wanted to ease the pressure and stress that we know many of our families were experiencing. And we had a very strong feeling that our families who were struggling before the pandemic probably felt like they were in the middle of a riptide during. So how could we support them? And we came up with a program that I'd like to tell you a little bit about. So I'm going to share my screen again. Oh, I did not do that very well. Let me try that one more time. There we go. Okay.
The key to the future of our communities lies with our children. And when our children are successful, our communities are going to be stronger.
In the spring of 2020, as the COVID virus disrupted schools, after-school programs, and plans for summer learning, the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading sprang into action to give children and their families motivation to keep reading by developing a program called This Book is Cool.
This book is cool.
This book is cool. Webisodes of This Book is Cool are created for grade levels pre-K through 3rd grade. Each webisode features a high-quality book, a special guest from the community, a focus on vocabulary building, and a creative and fun activity for the children that they can do with their families. There were 100 webisodes featuring 100 Zoom guests.
We have a special guest to talk to us today about why he thinks this book is cool.
Okay, you guys, look for your Charlotte County friends. There's a lot of them.
participated directly from their homes received 20 books over the course of the summer. Books were picked up, mailed, and in some cases, hand-delivered to the children.
Keeps them engaged through the summer, and it keeps them excited about reading, and it gives us like little activities. We love reading the story and then doing the craft.
I think the favorite thing is the activities that they can do also after they read them or watching the video that someone else also enjoys the book.
Thank you so much for bringing it to the Boys and Girls Club. All of our clubs love it and truly, truly appreciate all that you do.
And this is a magnificent way to connect with families and kids to spark that love and affirmation of reading.
This book is cool.
This book is cool.
This book is cool. The people who work with the Patterson Foundation come from a place of yes with excellence.
As a result of these efforts, more than 1,100 children participated in This Book is Cool from their homes, with 4,100 more participating through their summer providers. That's a total of 5,302 children, and together they read 94,383 books.
Cool!
Summer is over, but the This Book is Cool webisodes will continue to have an impact in the Suncoast region and beyond.
Yes, we're focused in Charlotte, DeSoto, Manatee, and Sarasota County. But these webisodes and the opportunity for communities wherever families are will be available. And that's part of the Patterson Foundation's commitment to connecting, learning, and sharing.
Their hearts are just like yours.
Every child has a potential that if we just unlock it, they will do incredible things.
This book is cool. This book is cool. These books are cool. These books are cool. For the book. Thank you for the books.
Thanks to everyone associated with This Book is Cool.
Until we meet again, my friends, keep reading. Reading is the key to succeeding. Bye-bye for now.
This Book is Cool has been generously funded by the Patterson Foundation.
The Patterson Foundation is cool.
All right. Well, that was exciting to revisit. And a big thank you to Bill Wagey for producing the videos for today and for all of the people who appeared in the videos. Angie, I counted you many, many times in the video, and many of our Charlotte County friends, so many of them guests for This Book is Cool. And we are very happy to be able to share with you some of the data. As was mentioned by Carmel Kissaday a little earlier, we have a partnership with our school districts, and we provide a data technician, and we are able to get some outcome data. And so we want to go ahead and share with you now some of the outcome data we were able to get from this summer. So Abby, yep, thank you very much. So in Charlotte County, we had 10 locations that participated, and also our children who participated directly from their homes. We had a total number of children, 637 children who participated. And what's interesting is the number of children with no measurable reading loss was 508. And next slide. That's 80% of the children who participated who had no summer reading loss. And if you compare that with what we know about our average families, typically a child with no summer intervention would lose up to 3 months of reading skill. So that this year we were able to have that number of children with no measurable loss is really a testament to the hard work that happened in your county. And I haven't said this in the other meetings, but I will tell you that Charlotte County had the highest number of children who did not have any reading loss. So congratulations to all of you. Across the region, we had 69 locations that we were able to get outcome data for. Total number of children who participated was over 4,090, and the number of children with no reading skill loss was 3,000. And that's 73% of the children in the region who experienced no reading loss due to our summer programming. So that is very, very exciting. And now I would like to introduce you to someone who has been instrumental in everything that has happened in Charlotte County. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you Angie Matheson, who's the Executive Director of the United Way of Charlotte County.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? I am so happy to be here with so many wonderful people, and I'm just so thankful to the Patterson Foundation and the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading for really helping to bring this initiative to Charlotte County. I do have some slides today. I'm going to share my screen, and you guys let me know. I'm going to put it on full screen mode. So, Beth, is that we're all good there?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
I'm going to move my thing there and we're good to go. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an update. You guys all know that I love to talk, and I'm going to do this really quickly. Very passionate about Charlotte County, and that was great news, Beth, you just shared. And it really is a testament to all of the partners, and not every partner is listed here. It's impossible to do that, but these are key Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading partners that have been with us since the beginning. It's been 3 years being one of the Campaign for Grade Level Readings communities when we joined, and we just thank everyone for their hard work over this time. I will be touching today on our year in review and in 3 segments. One, we had our community health and needs assessment really up to February 20th, 2020 is when we announced the results of that. And as you know, several weeks later, COVID hit. So we'll of course have to review that. And then also some strategic community initiatives that are key from a United Way perspective as the lead agency in Charlotte County. We could not have any of these conversations without focusing on the data that came out of the community health and needs assessment. The number one health issue to address, child abuse, neglect, and well-being. And most of the people here have some affiliation with these issues and really have a deep understanding. And this is the lens through not only what United Way looks at, but through all of our partners. And these numbers are pre-pandemic. All of them relate to grade level reading, but it is seriously nothing to be celebrating that we went from the 3rd highest in the state to the 2nd highest in the state from 18 to 19 for child abuse. And it absolutely breaks my heart. That's been a lot of the work I've done in my career, and it hurts, and it's something that we cannot ignore. The top reason in Charlotte County for a child to be removed from their home, parental drug abuse. Toxic stress affects all of our school success. And then again, last year's data, over half of our children entering kindergarten not ready. And that's just one data point for the grade level reading, of course, but this is what covers all of our lenses when we look at the information and the approach that we take in Charlotte County. As COVID hit, we of course had that data, we were ready to go. Everybody was geared up to address these issues. And then with the COAD Youth and Education Task Force, right after COVID hit, we convened. There's a multitude of task force that were addressing the COVID issues. The United Way of Charlotte County was responsible for this component, the youth and education. And these are the partners that came very quickly to the table. And the important part was that we needed education to remain a priority. And in order to do that, we needed to address the family's basic needs. And to Lynn Doyler's point, whatever it takes. That's become our motto. As we met weekly and bi-weekly, really since the summer, we've continued to fill the gap for each other, and we respond in real time. As identified needs came up, whether it was diapers, wipes, I think as of next week, it'll be 8,000 face masks that the community sewed and donated, and whether it was laptops through the Homeless Gap Fund, it was a multitude of resources that came as a result of all these partners being together. But it was really the connection, the way that we were able to connect with one another, that we were able to do this by being together and being willing. And in order to do this, we were able to, as doing this, we were able to connect families, hopefully help them feel supported, and hopefully get their basic needs met. As the lead for the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading, we look at, of course, the toxic stress as our United Way mission, mobilizing the power of our community to break the cycle of poverty, and our strategic plan directs us. We invest in collaboration to move the needle on these issues. And we do that in 3 areas: birth to 2 years, 3 to 5 years, excuse me, let me get some water. Birth to 2 years, 3 to 5 years, and kindergarten to 3rd grade. There's many others that are addressing these issues across our community, but I am today speaking to you from the lens of the United Way of Charlotte County. And what we do is we focus on these 3 areas. We align specifically with the issues for those areas. We build the bridge to the next level. It's a whole family approach. It is important that all of this relates back to family engagement and engagement with the partners. And that we're looking at the at-risk groups, the folks that are really experiencing the toxic stress. And it's a key element is that we have baseline metrics, and we call those baseline metrics, we work within cohorts. And this has been something we've been building really for the last 3 years as we've gotten collaborative work focused. And when we fund collaborative work, this is where we've been driving what we wanted to do. And really this year, right before COVID hit, we were ready to hit the ground running and with all of our metrics, and then COVID has just completely, of course, thrown that out the window, but we are continuing to really try to stay focused there, and we will. But the other element across all of our collaborations is that we fund coordinators that connect the dots between our partners. And that really is what we call the magic sauce. And I would say that our nonprofit partners would agree that the coordinator is what really helps to align all of their work together. And so we talk about our Birth to 5 approach, and that is our Kids Thrive Collaborative. And what I'd like to say here, of course, there's words on the paper that I'm showing you, but essentially what we're doing is we're looking at healthy birth outcomes. These are at-risk families, substance exposure to the babies. We're emphasizing parent bonding with that child, literacy being the key, starting with reading to the bump. And then where we've been evolving in the last year is really creating a circle of parents, a peer network. And a lot of our other partners, Children's Network and the other agencies, Guardian Ad Litem, we're all working in the same arena of the model with these peer networks. And it works because what we're doing with these families, we're building social capital for them. And they are then able to support one another. And when I see out at Worden Farm, the circle of parents, moms going out there to do their book study, they get fresh veggies, they get their book study, and they talk about the different topics that relate to being a parent of a baby and all the stresses. For me, this makes my heart swell because for me, it's the bottom line that we're building social capital for these families. We have a literacy navigator that we fund also through Kids Thrive. And that is really in the next year or two, we're really going to begin that focus on the 3 to 5 kindergarten readiness, as well as in partnership with the school system. And that's a very important component and will be much of our focus. Charlotte County Reads, we are so thrilled with our partners, and Big Brothers Big Sisters is the lead agency there. And we have hired a coordinator this year and really aligned the partnership with the school system. That coordinator is really helping to bring some of the key programs that the Charlotte County Reads have together. And so what we do is we identify the children. Right now we're doing this from 3 schools, and it's really the 3 schools, if you look at it from ALICE data, as well as even the COAD data from COVID and all of the zip codes of families that are struggling. These are the 3 schools that we really are focusing right now. But as we solidify this program, we want to scale it. We want to build it out. But we've got to make sure we have the structure in place so that we can know what we're doing is really working. And so the coordinator connects the dots, identifies the children from the schools. The nonprofits then do what they do best. the Reading Buddies program, Reading Mentors, using the Y Reads program and the other successful curriculums at the Boys and Girls Club. And we ensure that the child is in the after-school program. And if they aren't in the after-school program and they need to be, we get them in the after-school program. We're also following these children now from a data perspective from the beginning of the school year through the end of the summer. And our cohorts include that whole span of time. So we'll have cohort 1 is beginning of school year to the end of the summer and then to the next year. And we'll really track these kids. But what we're also doing is wrapping around the family support so that we can really encourage the whole family approach. Again, I could say so much more about this, but both with the Kids Thrive in Charlotte County Reads, the element that we've brought to the table, and all of the partners are willing and really much identifying what are the family needs as a whole, not just the student. And this aligns with the Campaign for Grade Level Reading pillars. And so what we have is we have a tool that we use, and it's a pre-tool. Once that cohort is identified, the coordinators meet with the families, they go through the tool. It helps for us to know what the issues are so that then we can prioritize those needs, use of course, the Campaign for Grade Level Reading tools to then, as well as all of the other resources that we have at our disposal. A couple of the things that both of these collaboratives are able to really emphasize on what they have been doing with incredible enthusiasm. We've had a lot of fun with virtual cooking classes and taking the organic veggie boxes from Word and Farm and talking about cooking. What are you doing with the vegetables? Not just with the cooking classes, but it's been a real emphasis across all of the collaboratives last year and this year. I'm excited that Charlotte County Reads is going to be doing the same elements of the Summer Reading Challenge, but calling it a Fall Reading Challenge. They've really evolved their Reading Buddy program and the Reading Mentor program to address the virtual needs of the mentors. And so they're really, through the coordinator and all the different supports, able to be nimble, as I said in the previous video, and doing it in a way that is really meeting the families where they are. Of course, parent engagement is helping us to, where we're identifying the needs is allowing us to determine the exact parent engagement needs that we have, and also bringing grief support through Valerie's House to these programs. And then as a United Way program, one of our key strategies this year will be to address the financial stability component through our VITA tax assistance program, and really increasing the number of families through these agencies that are getting more money in their pockets, because that's another one of those basic needs that we have to address. Together, we can do this. And we've done so much already. And so many of the partners that have been a part of this COVID response, and I hear from the schools and all of the schools that are on here today, I thank you for this tireless effort that you guys have had. And you guys have had to focus so much on how to make sure these kids and the staff and everyone are healthy, and the nonprofits the same. But I just commend you, and I thank you for all that you do. And our United Way, our board, our staff, our team, we're committed to doing whatever we can, whatever it takes, to continue to make sure that our families and our children succeed. And we'll do this all together. And
thank you,
one
Angie.
more note. Our little board members, are not our little board members, our big board members. They say thank you. I think that's it. And
Great.
I hope you stayed there hopefully on time. And then I would like to take this next opportunity to introduce Justin Brand, colleague of mine, president of the Chamber of Commerce Board as well. I'm on that chamber, and so I'm thankful to serve with him there. And then also for the director of engagement, community engagement with the Charlotte Community Foundation. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the Florida Gap Map. And
hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Angie, and thank you, Beth, for allowing me to speak to you today on behalf of the Foundation and the Chamber of Commerce. It's really important for both organizations, education, and our community. We know that the earlier that an individual or a child has the ability to start reading and learning and move from that learning to read to reading to learn is really going to help move us forward when it comes to both education and the workforce in Charlotte County. So I'm going to share my screen quickly. Get this up here. Okay, so before we can start looking at the Florida Gap Map, it's really important to understand where the Florida Chamber of Commerce is coming from and what their goal is. The Florida 2030, which is their blueprint to secure Florida's future. There's some pretty big goals when it comes to this. First is to be globally competitive, grow Florida into the top 10 global economy. Currently, Florida is the number 17 in the global economy. Prosperity and high-paying jobs. By 2030, Florida anticipates to increase by 1.5 million new jobs. So we need to be ready. Our education system needs to be ready, and we need to have the workforce available coming out of our education systems to provide for those 1.5 million jobs that are anticipated. Florida also wants to have a vibrant and resilient community, which means attainable housing, top-tier education, reliable infrastructure, all for transportation, energy, and communication systems. How do we get there with our talent, supply, and education? We need to have a skilled and prepared workforce. We also need to make sure that we have market-relevant post-secondary education training. So with both of those, it's very important to make sure that our students are reading at level by 3rd grade. By doing that, it's going to help prepare those skilled workforces. They're going to be educated, they'll be literate, they will also be able to comprehend. And this is important through the whole gamut of jobs that are out there, from your doctor level positions down to your service level. It's very important that we have that workforce to be able to sustain our communities. Who are the players to help achieve these goals? It starts with the parents, the families, and the guardianship. We also need to make sure that our business leaders are engaged and involved with this. That's where the Florida Gap Map through the Florida Chamber of Commerce really comes in handy for our community. It allows for individuals to be able to look from a Florida standpoint all the way down to a more micro, where's your county, where's your zip code, and also looks into the school. And from that, you can really see the gap, if you will, when it comes to that 3rd grade reading level. And then also we need to engage our policymakers throughout all of this as well. So we've talked about the Florida Gap Map a little bit. So really, what is that Gap Map? So the Florida Gap Map brings together the important work of the Florida Prosperity Initiative and the Business Alliance for Early Learning. This online tool gives business community leaders throughout Florida important information on the schools in their community. This is just an overview of what the Gap Map will look like. I'm going to actually bring up that website next so that we can experience this together. Once you go to the Florida Chamber of Commerce website, you get a little bit of the 3rd grade reading level in your schools. You can scroll down a little bit more. There's some quick little informational videos that you can read. Also a quote by Mark Wilson, who is the president and CEO of the Florida Chamber of Commerce. Once you get about 3/4 of the way down the map, or down the page, you actually see the interactive map that is here for the Florida Gap Map. As you scroll your cursor over it, you're going to see different things pop up. It pulls up to Leon County. So I'm going to actually change that to Charlotte County. Once that populates, and you scroll.
So Justin, your slide show is still showing. We don't have the interactive map on our screen quite yet.
Okay, let me jump back over then. In 1 second.
I think you might have to stop sharing and then reshare. There we go.
Okay, so as I mentioned, on the page for the Florida Chamber, once you scroll down, and then you get midway through to the gap map. I will zoom back out. As I mentioned, it shows Leon County. Over here to the right, you can go ahead and click, scroll down to Charlotte County, and then you do have to zoom yourself out for that as well. And then once you find Charlotte County, you can zoom back in. And this is really going to show the different zip codes is what we're looking at right now. So as you scroll across the different zip codes, for instance, zip code 33982 has 319 children in poverty. That equates to 17.2% under the age of 18 in the poverty rate. This little box that is right underneath there, it actually breaks it down by school as well. So for instance, Deep Creek Elementary School, kids not reading at grade level, that'll show 25. And then what is the average third grade reading score? So all of that information is right there for you to have access to as a business member. And also for any of the nonprofit organizations, it's really important and a good idea for you to look at this as well. You can find your own zip code, also relate that back to the local schools, because that's probably where your pool, especially if you're dealing with children in this age level, I'm sure that's where you're getting a lot of your attendees from there as well. And I am going to share back my PowerPoints. All right. And I pulled this from the Florida Gap Map site as well, just to give a comparison between the state level and the Charlotte County level. You can see where we are. This is great news. According to the Florida Chamber site, third grade reading scores are improving, and we're actually about 11% over the state average. So that's great to see. And why is this important to commerce? We want to have an educated workforce, the ability to read and comprehend, and these need to be employable individuals to help fill those available positions. It also needs to have a diverse workforce, establish a balance between skilled trades, specialty occupations, and higher education degree levels. And it will also reduce poverty levels by increasing the reading readiness scores. It is important that we find that intersection between poverty and education to help break the cycle. So with that, I thank you for your time and attention through this. And it's really been an honor to present both on the side of the foundation and also the importance for education to help our business community in Charlotte County.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you for
You're welcome.
Showing us that tool. I hope everyone will take the opportunity to investigate it a little. The link for the Florida Gap Map was put in the chat room, so you can find it there. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is some of the plans we have moving forward. We discovered an awful lot since March, certainly in talking to the families that we are most trying to serve. We've discovered that our neighbors are longing for a greater sense of connectedness. We've also discovered that parents, grandparents, caregivers, educators, they are hungry for high quality information to assist them in helping children to learn. And we've also discovered that virtual meetings are not as inaccessible as we once thought they were. We have seen a wide range of ages participate in Zoom meetings and have found that in some cases it's actually more effective and easier for parents to participate if they don't have to find a babysitter and commute to a meeting. So we put all of these learnings together into creating a program we are calling Stronger Me, Stronger We. The Patterson Foundation wants to invest in people to provide increased knowledge and personal development, which in turn will make our communities stronger. Each one of the offerings of Stronger Me, Stronger We will be 5 one-hour virtual workshops. Each offering will feature high quality content. We will have facilitated learning, which means there will be many opportunities to forge that sense of connectedness. And we also will offer this, certainly the Patterson Foundation is ready to facilitate, but we are most interested in partnering with organizations that are already involved in this work. It's an opportunity for us together to strengthen our parent and family engagement. And so we are looking forward to presenting these workshops for parents, caregivers, educators, not-for-profit partners, and faith-based organizations in the community. We can go to the next slide. The topics will include This Book is Cool, Stronger Me, Stronger We. We are taking the books that we featured in This Book is Cool. We've put together 2 tracks for this program, one that can happen in classrooms. We have lesson plans that are aligned to Florida benchmarks and standards. The Patterson Foundation will generously provide books for the children that they can put into their home libraries. So that's a track for schools. The other track is for families, book circles where families and children can meet together and have facilitated discussions around a series of books. Once again, the Patterson Foundation will make sure that the families have the books so they can participate in these workshops. The next topic we're going to have is Stronger Me, Stronger We, centered around Joy Thomas Moore's book, The Power of Presence. I know many of you participated in the book circles in the past. We've discovered that these topics of conversation have great resonance during the time of COVID, and we're looking forward to being able to share these books and robust discussions with families and educators moving forward. The next topic for Stronger Me, Stronger We is Mind in the Making. Many of you have participated in Mind in the Making workshops. A reminder, Mind in the Making is based on the book, The Mind in the Making by Ellen Galinsky, that shows how important executive functions are to children. And we've put together these 5 one-hour workshops centered around activities and games that you can play with your child to help develop the executive function. And our next offering, we're calling Vroom to Literacy, Vrooming to Literacy. And using Vroom, which is another free app that parents can use to help their children turn everyday moments into brain-building moments. We're centering around that app, but also including some of the information from Talk to Me Baby and Talk, Read, Sing and Too Small to Fail to really give tips for parents who are raising 0 to 5-year-old children. These 5 one-hour sessions will give them a connection to each other, as well as a connection to the Campaign for Grade Level Reading, and hopefully to the partner organization who will co-facilitate with us. All of these offerings are going to be available, and we are going to be sending you a survey at the end of today's meeting. And if you're interested in any or all of these programs, you'll have an opportunity to tell us that you'd like to receive some more information, and we will do our best to get you up and running as soon as possible. We can go ahead and change the slide. Another opportunity that's coming up, and we'll have some information about that in the After Action survey, an opportunity for you to tell us you're interested. We're doing pop-up neighbor through laundry events. Certainly, we have changed the protocol to include some of the COVID CDC guidelines. So we will be having a tent outside the laundromat. We will have a policy of face masks. We'll have face masks available for all of the laundry participants. We'll have hand sanitizer and are really taking every safety precaution. But we know our families are struggling, and we want to have this opportunity to relieve some of the stress and strain that they might be feeling on a weekly basis. I believe the pop-up neighbor event in Charlotte County will be the first weekend in December, and we will get you more information about that if you're interested. And Abby, I think you can advance 2 slides. One other opportunity that we want you to be aware of is in the early spring, or in February, we presented a 1-act play that was called Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, A Walk to Respect. And it centers around the real words that Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass shared with the world. They were not aligned in their political beliefs, and they actually were on opposite ends of some of the biggest political and moral issues of the day, yet they found a way to come together. They actually forged a friendship, and that friendship informed much of the work that they did after that. So this one-act play runs about an hour, and we filmed it in February. We'll be sharing it in a virtual presentation on the 1st of December, followed by a panel discussion on how we can take some of the lessons that were learned through a walk to respect and have a walk to respect of our own. You also, in our after action survey, will have an opportunity to let us know if you'd like more information about this event. We certainly hope that you will participate, and we'll have additional opportunities to participate in the discussion on how we can come together rather than fuel the partisan nature that we see reflected in our media. And, you know, every time I turn on the television set, I am reminded and you know, that we're polarized in this country. And I have to tell you, that's not my experience of working with all of the people that we work with. What I find are very dedicated people who want to make a difference in their communities. And perhaps by exploring how others have done that in the past, we can find our way to work together more effectively as well. So, Abby, if you put up your next slide, I think we're only 2 minutes over, which isn't too bad. We did not have time for questions in person. However, this survey that we're sending you does have a space where you can put down any question that you might have. Justin, Angie, and I will respond to your questions. And we are so very grateful to all of you for being with us this morning, and grateful for all of the work that you're doing in our communities to make our children successful. Go out and have a terrific Thursday, and I look forward to hearing from you as you complete your surveys. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Thank you all.